I can't stand when people be like, Black Americans don't know where they come from. Black Americans don't know where they come from. Girl, I come from Birmingham, Alabama, Medigill Projects, Fairfield. What did you talk about?
Guys, I don't think American people know where they actually come from. Like, when you ask them where are they from, they'll be like, oh, I'm from Atlanta, or oh, I'm from Tennessee. But they don't actually know where they come from. Okay, like, for example, if you ask us, yeah, where are we from? The first thing we'll say is it the country or the ends? Ends is like what area you're from. So you could be from north, east, south, or west. I'm from east. But sometimes in east, they could be like, oh, in east, where you from? And I'll be like, okay, I'm from Hackney. Then I'll be like, I'm from Nigeria, because that's where my parents are from. I'm Nigerian. But Americans, I don't think they know. They just say the ends. Like, they just say where they were born. Like, oh, I'm from LA. But that's not where your parents are actually from. So when we call them dumb, it's because of them type of simple things. Like, you're meant to know where you're actually from. Like, because you don't know where you're actually from. They check on websites and stuff where they're actually from. They'll be like, I'm 90% this, I'm 90% that. Your parents should know where they're actually from. But it's clear as day that they don't. Because when they're representing, they only represent where their ends are from, which is okay, but they don't know where they're actually from.
Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So credit goes to all these creators. When I saw this video, I wasn't sure if it was satire or not, or maybe it was just our ignorance speaking. And trust the comment section to be full of backlash, because what? Because I really do not get it. People keep saying Black Americans don't know where they are from. And I saw just one video on my FYP, guys, and I'm like, do people really think about this? Do people really think like this? And I decided to go down that rabbit hole. And guys, I actually discovered a lot of people that have that mentality. And I'm like, we got to talk about it. Black Americans do know where they come from. They come from slavery in the United States. They come from forced displacement. They come from a system designed to erase their identity. Black Americans know their history very, very well. They know their ancestors were kidnapped, sold, transported through the transatlantic slave trade. They know all this. They know that their families were separated, renamed, and denied the right to record their own lineage. And you coming online and saying all these things just shows how ignorant you are. Because slave owners erased identities on purpose, because people without roots, so to say, were easier to control. So when names, languages, family lines are destroyed, people are often left, only with survival. And that was the goal. So when people say, oh, Black Americans don't know where they come from, that only makes sense if you pretend that everyday history does not count. And of course, they know where they come from. They know their roots, right? And many Black Americans can tell you where their great-grandfathers lived. Either it was in New York, Chicago, Georgia, Louisiana, Detroit, places where their families stayed for generations, where their people worked, raised their children, went to churches or whatever, built neighborhoods, and that is not nowhere. Okay, that is a real place. And knowing where you come from, right, does not only mean tracing your family back hundreds of years. For most people, right, in the world, it means knowing the city, the town, the community that shaped your family's life. And Black Americans have that knowledge. It lives in their stories, it lives in their names, it lives in their accents, their food, and their culture here. So when you come online and set up your phone to speak, make sure you have done your research. Let's see what the other persons have to say, and I'll see you soon.
Y'all want to know what's funny? This is some funny shit. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. This is funny. They say we don't know our parents, yet we know who our mothers are. They say we don't have no language, but we all understand each other. Except for them. We don't understand them. And if everybody was from Africa, why the fuck didn't they keep their accent? Shouldn't we all be walking around boom tong on boom chong? Muba, 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 to moo. I'm from Uganda. I'm from Uganda. Like, shouldn't we all be walking around like with some type of accent if we all from Africa? Like, when did we all ever have like arranged marriages? Black Americans don't know who they are, but we know our people. We know our people. We speak English. We speak English. And depending on where you're from, that is the accent that we go by. Like, for instance, I'm from Detroit. When a person from the South hear me, they know I'm automatically from the Midwest. When I hear a person from California, I automatically know they Californian. When I hear a person from Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Louisiana, I know they from Louisiana. Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, I know they from the South. I even know if you from the country of the South. Oh, we know each other. Oh, we know. So if we came from Africa, wouldn't we have some type of connection to want to go back home? Because I know in those movies, they be wanting to go back home after they get freed, and they actually go back home, or they go to London. We want to stay here because this is where our ancestors are from. But they tricked us and said we don't have no culture. We don't know our language. This is our language, bitch. They gotta be jealous of something. It was them all along.
Okay, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. What is up with British people's obsession with Black Americans? I had a friend, she was actually from Amsterdam, but it doesn't matter. She introduced me to two people that lived in London, and we were on like a group FaceTime one day. First of all, they start talking shit about New York, how it's dirty, da-da-da. First of all, not too much on New York. I feel like if you're not from New York, or if you don't live in New York, you can't talk shit on New York. I live in New York, so I have my own personal problems with New York, and I can talk about New York if I want to, but if you don't live here, you can't talk about it. Anyway, so they start talking about New York, and then they're like, oh, where are you from? Da 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 da. And I was like, oh, I'm Caribbean, and my mom is from this island. And they were like, oh, yeah, because I was about to say, like, Black Americans, they don't know where they're from, and da 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 da. Bro, do y'all know slavery was a thing? Like, are we forgetting slavery? Like, everybody knows that slavery was a thing, and that a lot of Black Americans don't know where they're from because of slavery. Like, they're acting like that's not abnormal. That's not normal to not know where you're from if you're Black American. If you're an immigrant like my parents are, or yeah, if you're an immigrant, then obviously like you migrated to the United States, so you know where you might know where you're from, yeah, because your parents are not from the US. But if your parents are from the US, your parents are from their parents are from the US, their parents are from the US, and so on. Obviously, you might not know exactly where you're from because you're not native to America, but like, you know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, honestly, if you want to be real, if you want to go technical with it, we're all from Africa. If you're Black, you're from Africa. But because of slavery, they took some people from Africa, they dropped them off in the Caribbean, they took the next group, dropped them off in this location, took the next group, dropped them off in the United States. Like, I thought we all knew that. Like, what is this obsession with Black Americans and not knowing where they're from? Like, I thought, yeah, we kind of know. We, like, they don't know where they're from. We don't know. I don't know what the fuck. I thought we all kind of knew, like, yeah, Black Americans don't know where they're from because of slavery. Like, why is this, like, such a big thing? Like, oh. And another guy, I put my location on Hinge to London because I'm going to London for my birthday. And another guy asked me the same thing. They were like, oh, he was like, what's your heritage? And do you know where your ancestors are from? And I was like, yeah, my mom is from this island. I'm from the Caribbean. And they're like, honestly, no, he didn't even argue with me. I thought he was going to argue with me, but he didn't. I feel like if I would have said I'm just black or whatever, then he probably would have argued with me. But because I said, yeah, I'm Caribbean and my mom's from this island, I feel like he didn't argue with me. But if, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I would have said Black, he would have been like, you don't know where you're from. I don't know why that pisses me off so much. Every time I see a video, they do like the public interviews and they're like, what do you hate about Americans? And they're like, They don't know where they're from. Like, shut up. Like, everyone knows we don't know where we're from because of slavery. Like, everybody knows that. Like, America is a country that's built off of other people's shit. I don't know. I feel like everyone kind of knows that, and it's really so annoying when people constantly say that Black Americans don't know where they're from. What is your obsession with?
Not me just having a realization that the rest of the Black diaspora have been real quiet in regards to telling Black Americans that we don't know where we come from. Ever since that orange man got up on TV and said that birthright citizen was only instituted for children of chattel slavery. Where y'all at? Okay. Where y'all at? Okay, it seemed like that was the platform that y'all was standing on so hard, that we were orphans and we don't know where we come from and we not this and we not that. And it seems as though y'all influenced the entire international community to think that, like, I don't know, I guess I don't know how that immigrant narrative came around, but we've been screaming as a collective community that we know exactly where we from, that we could trace our lineage back further than a lot of y'all. Okay, because my people was already settled while Africa was still being reshuffled. And y'all refused to believe us. And it took a goddamn felon getting on TV and telling y'all what we've been screaming for decades. Now, I don't hear nobody online saying that about Black Americans. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Guys, I believe that the idea that Black Americans don't know where they come from is often used to dismiss their identity, because it suggests that maybe they are incomplete or they are confused or they are just disconnected people. And that idea does not make any sense, because Black Americans do have roots, and their roots rather is in the United States, and that is period. Their history includes Reconstruction, segregation, civil rights, slavery, and their culture, right, was built under pressure, right? It was not a borrowed culture. So knowing where you come from does not only mean knowing geography. It also means knowing what shaped your people. And Black Americans know the systems that shaped them. They know the laws that try to break them. They know their struggles, right? They know the struggles their ancestors survived so that they could exist, so that the future generations could exist. And the truth is that Black Americans were not allowed to keep the kind of historical records people now demand from them, because expecting detailed ancestral knowledge while ignoring the reason for which it was taken, it's so wild. So the next time somebody repeats that statement, it's their lack of understanding that is talking, and the fact that they have not done their research, because Black Americans know exactly where they come from, and they know that they come from loss, survival, and rebuilding. They come from people that endured the unthinkable, right? And still created life, still created culture, still created meaning. And for example, if the palm colored people say, oh, my family is from Chicago, nobody's gonna argue with them, right? Oh, my family has been in New York for centuries, for generations, that is acceptable. But when Black people and Black Americans come out to say the same thing, suddenly y'all will criticize them and say it's not enough. Like, why? I don't get it. Black Americans know the neighborhoods their families lived in, right? They know the jobs their grandparents worked. They know the schools, the churches, the neighborhoods, the families, the streets that shaped, their parents' lives. And if that is not history, I don't know what is. So the truth is very simple. Black Americans are not confused about where they come from. I feel that other people are just confused about what really counts as how do I put it now, legitimate history. Because knowing where you come from means that you know the ground that your family stood on, the life that was built, the struggles that they faced. And Black Americans have that knowledge, right? They are not blind to it, they know it. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really want to hear from you. Do you agree or do you disagree? And if you have found value in this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Ciao.